So today we're diving into something really big. It's a proposal that isn't just a new piece of tech, but, and get this, a whole new operating system for your planet. It's called the Smaragd quantum loop system, and it's being framed as this complete, anti-fragile solution that's designed to regenerate our world, not just take from it. So let's unpack what this planetary upgrade is all about. Okay, so where does all this come from? Well, it starts with a problem that isn't an opinion, it's just math. You take a world with finite resources, you add exponential growth, and the equation really only has one possible answer, a collapse state. The source material is pretty blunt about this. Continuing what we're doing isn't a strategy. It's basically a bet that the whole thing won't fall apart in our lifetime. This proposal claims to be the first real way to change that equation.
All right, so here's our game plan for breaking this down. We're going to start with a fatal flaw in our current system. Then we'll look at the radically new principle they're proposing to replace it. We'll see how that gets built into a system of systems, check out a real-world example called the Great Green Deal, and wrap up with what it all means as an offer for change.
All right, first step, let's get to the root of the problem. According to this idea, the massive flaw in how our entire civilization works actually boils down to two really simple but, well, destructive principles. Think about it. For the last 200 years, pretty much our whole industrial world has run on these two things. Extraction, we take stuff like oil and water way faster than nature can put it back. And explosion, we make our power by burning things. Combustion, heat, destruction. And get this, a guy named Victor Schauberger was calling this out as fundamentally flawed way back in the 1940s. We've been calling it progress, but at its very core, it's a system that is designed to take and designed to eventually break. So, if the old way is broken by design, what's the alternative? This is where we get to the absolute heart of the proposal. And it's not about making small changes or being a little more efficient. It's about completely flipping that foundational logic upside down. And boom, here it is. This slide just lays it all out. It's a simple, but honestly a profound flip. Instead of extraction, the new principle is regeneration. And instead of explosion, it's implosion. You're moving from a system that consumes itself to one that actually creates and builds. It's a system that's anti-fragile, right? It gets stronger with every single cycle. Let's see what that actually looks like. Now, this is where it gets really cool. Look at how this redefines how we make energy. Our current way, explosion, it creates heat, it expands, it creates disorder, right? And it leaves behind CO2 and all this waste. The new principle, implosion, is the exact opposite. Think of a vortex or a whirlpool in water. It's all about concentration, contraction, and cooling. So instead of making a mess, it creates order. And, as a bonus, it has a cooling effect. It's literally energy generation that cleans up after itself. It's the same deal when you look at resources. The old model is all about using up stuff that's finite. Once the oil's gone, it is gone for good. The regenerative model, on the other hand, uses resources that grow back. And in the process, they actually make the system better. Take hemp, for example, grows in just 120 days. Or with regenerative farming, the soil can actually get richer with every single harvest. It's a total game changer. So this is the really crucial part, how this flips our whole economic model on its head. We go from this linear take, make, waste pipeline that, let's be honest, has a dead end, to a circular economy where there is no such thing as waste. The end of one process is just the fuel for the next one. And this, according to the source, opens up the possibility for a totally new kind of growth, eternal growth. And you can even see this play out in how we grow our food. Monocultures, where you just plant one single crop over and over, are all about getting the biggest yield right now. But over time, they just kill the soil. A regenerative approach uses all kinds of different crops, natural fungi networks. It aims for maximum long-term health. And the result? Soil that literally gets richer and more alive the more you use it. Okay, so that's the core philosophy. But the real magic here isn't in any single one of these ideas. It's all about how they're connected. So let's look at how this all builds into what they call a system of systems. This right here is the secret sauce. The Smaragd formula isn't some brand new invention nobody's ever heard of. It's design. It's a blueprint that pulls together 9 existing proven technologies. Things like advanced water treatment, regenerative farming, new energy systems. The thing is, they've all been developed on their own, in their own little silos. This formula combines them into one single closed-loop system. It's basically a technical recipe that mimics how nature operates. This slide just nails why that integration is so unbelievably powerful. If you just add these 9 things together,
1 plus 1 plus 1, you get some improvement, sure. But when you connect them so they feed each other, you get a multiplicative effect. It's synergistic, and that, right there, is the difference between a small improvement and a true system change.
So, enough with the theory. What would this system of systems actually look like out in the real world? Well, the proposal lays out a really concrete example, a Great Green Deal, which is imagined as this incredible partnership between Morocco and Germany.
Just look at the synergy here. It's amazing. On one side, Morocco brings its incredible natural gifts, all that sun, land, and seawater. On the other side, Germany brings its world-class precision engineering. You put them together, and it's a massive win-win. Morocco could literally double its export revenue. Germany gets the clean energy it desperately needs and finally gets resource independence. And the climate impact? We're talking about potentially capturing over 100 million tons of CO2 a year. This isn't just a trade deal. It's a totally symbiotic partnership. So you have to ask, right? If all the pieces are there, why hasn't this happened yet? And the source has a very simple, direct answer. As this quote says, it's not because it doesn't work, it's not because it's too expensive, and it's not because the tech is missing. It's because nobody had actually put all the pieces of the puzzle together into one single working system. The claim is, that has now been done. And that brings us to the final point, which might just be the most important one. This entire system isn't being pushed as some top-down law or a political demand. It's being presented as something completely different. And this quote just captures the whole spirit of it. The project basically claims to have solved problems that we just endlessly debate. But it's not trying to force that solution on anybody. It's not a constraint. It's not a demand. It is simply an offer. And so that leaves us with this final, really powerful question. Our entire modern world is built on a model of extraction that, just by its own math, has to end. This is an offer to build something else. A system that's designed not to break down, but to build up. Not to consume itself, but to regenerate. Maybe, just maybe, forever.